In the world of business, data is absolutely everywhere. But here's the thing, raw data, it's usually a complete mess. Today we're going to see how just a few powerful SQL functions can take all that chaos and turn it into clarity, transforming messy data into some really smart business decisions. Let's dive in.
So, this is the big question, right? You're sitting on a mountain of information. Sales figures, customer lists, inventory, but what do you actually do with it? How do you make sense of it all? Well, the answer lies in using the right tools to ask the right questions.
To really get our hands dirty, we're going to use a case study, a database for a car showroom. It's pretty straightforward, broken down into 4 main tables. We've got inventory for all the car details, customer for our client info, sale, which tracks every single deal, and employee, which has all the data on the sales team.
Okay, so before we start solving problems, let's pull back the curtain and get a feel for the actual information we're working with here. You've got to know your data before you can unlock its secrets.
First up, here's our inventory. It's exactly what it sounds like. Each row is a car, with its ID, name, price, model. You get the idea. And hey, take a look at those prices. See how specific they are, with all those decimal points? Keep that in the back of your mind, because it's going to be important in just a minute. Next up, let's meet the clients in the customer table. We've got all the essential contact info here. But you can probably spot a classic real-world data problem right away, can't you? The formatting is all over the place. Names and emails aren't consistent at all, and that's a headache we're going to have to solve.
Now this table, the sale table, this is really the nerve center of the whole operation. It's the glue that holds everything together. It links a specific car ID to a customer ID, telling us exactly who bought what, when they bought it, for how much, and which salesperson closed the deal. It's the heart of the business, for sure.
And last but not least, the employee table. This gives us the rundown on our sales team, everything from their hiring date to their salary. We're definitely going to use this later on when we start talking about sales commissions.
All right, we've met the players, we know our data. Now it's time to put it to work and solve some real business problems. First up, we're going to tackle challenges that involve wrangling numbers, things like pricing, taxes, and payment plans.
So, here's our first challenge. The manager wants to calculate a 12% tax, or GST, on every car. Simple multiplication, right? Well, yeah, but it gives you these crazy, messy numbers with a ton of decimal places. Nobody wants to see that on an invoice. And that's where the round function becomes our absolute best friend. It lets us clean things up perfectly.
And boom, just like that, with one simple query using round, we get this beautiful, clean, readable list of the GST for each car. See? This one little function instantly makes all that financial data look way more professional and just easier to work with.
Okay, on to the next puzzle. The showroom wants to offer a 10-month payment plan. But here's the catch. The monthly payments have to be in nice, even multiples of 10,000. So what happens to the leftover amount? You know, the change. For that, we need another cool function called mod. It's designed to do one thing, calculate the remainder of a division.
Now this is where things get really slick, because we start combining functions. We calculate the final price with the tax, and then use some clever math with round and mod to figure out a clean monthly payment and the exact down payment the customer needs to make. We just turned a complex offer into simple, clear numbers.
All right, our final numbers challenge is all about rewarding the top performers. So by calculating a 12% commission and then using a simple where clause, we can instantly filter our sales data to show only the deals that brought in more than $73,000 in commission. This is such a powerful way to spot your high-impact sales and your star employees.
So, we've totally wrangled the numbers. But what about that messy text data we saw earlier? All those inconsistent customer names and emails? That stuff can cause major headaches for things like marketing campaigns. So, let's clean it up. Yeah, this probably looks pretty familiar, right? People type their info in all sorts of ways. For a professional marketing email, you absolutely need consistency. And with the LCase and UCase functions, we can instantly convert entire columns to all lowercase or all uppercase. It's such a simple fix, but it makes your data so much more reliable.
Okay, time to level up a bit. Let's say we need to create a username for each customer based on their email. So, how do we grab just the part before the @ symbol? Well, we can break it down into a little 3-step mission. First, we find where the @ is. Second, we figure out how long the text is before it. And third, we just extract that piece of text.
And here is the magic. By nesting the INCR and left functions, one inside the other, we perform all three of those steps in a single, elegant command. And the result? A perfectly clean list of usernames, all pulled automatically from the email addresses. This is a fantastic example of how combining functions can solve really tricky problems.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've gone from messy numbers and text all the way to valuable business insights. So let's do a quick recap of the powerful new tools we just added to our SQL toolkit.
So here's our new toolkit. We used round to clean up all that financial data. We used mod to help structure those creative payment plans. LCase and UCase were our go-tos for standardizing customer data. And then, by combining instra and left, we could pull apart text to get exactly the info we needed. Each function solves a specific, common business problem.
So look, we've seen how just a handful of functions can answer some really important questions for a car showroom. But that's just the beginning. The real power is in your hands now. You have the tools. So what hidden patterns, what opportunities, and what insights are just sitting there waiting to be discovered in your own data?